Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Alan here. It's the Gibson Garage YouTube channel, or newly named the Gibson Garage Speed Shop YouTube channel. Got an emergency fix today. The Magnum is making some clunking sounds, like some of the work I just did under there might have come loose. All right, listen. That was reverse. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Let me put it in the driveway. Well, I looked under there, I didn't see anything obvious, like shook a bunch of things, grabbed the axles and the driveline, because that's what I replaced. But I also had to remove the diff. I tried shaking everything around, control arms, everything, couldn't find anything. So I'm gonna put you guys under there. I'm gonna put it in gear, and you tell me what you guys see. Oh, that's my feet. I'm recording. Well, so it looks like the diff is loose, doesn't it? That front bolt. You know, I heard another YouTuber say that's supposed to be replaced. It's a one-time thing. I'm gonna look into that, because I've definitely used it at least twice now. Okay, well, I'm just about ready to drop it out, and it's not really hard to get to this point. I'll just walk you through what I did real quick. You see, I took out my exhaust here, and I found out too the reason that these are separated. There's a flange on one side is so you can get it out of the bumper. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to get it out of the bumper. I had disconnect the rivets so I could spread it apart a little bit on both sides, and just like I put it in before, one side out and then the other. Once that's out, you can drop the driveline bolts out and the carrier bearing. Don't go yanking back and forth on this thing until you loosen up the carrier bearing, because this end doesn't telescope between here and the bearing at all. The telescope's on the other side of the bearing. But then you can drop the whole thing on the ground. Remove the heat shield first. I think the heat shield had to come out first. Another thing I also did was loosen up these bolts, all four of these bolts, just to drop the whole subframe down a little bit, just enough to get these bolts out. So if you're worried, well, how far can you go? Well, only go far enough to sneak the bolt out. Don't go any further. And I also have the back bolts done a little more than the front, so it has this kind of overall lean back too, to help with that. So both those bolts are out. These are 21 mils. Also, you can get to those bolts a lot easier now too, with it lowered a little bit and away from here. You know, I have this bent wrench, but I was able to use this for most of the way. So just got the front bolt left up there somewhere, right there. I'm gonna zip that off. We'll let this thing come down. Ooh. I don't need to drop the diff all the way. So got that one out. We can get the bolt and everything out the top. Maybe I got it, I just can't get it. I got it. Oh, I don't understand. Oh wait. Whew. Okay, let's check this out. So here's the old one and the bolt. And now these are supposed to go up from the bottom and you're supposed to put the nut on top. Maybe I can do that now with like the subframe loosened and kind of tilted back a little bit. But before, I remember I had done this from the top because I could not get a tool up inside that subframe in between the body of the car and the subframe to hold the nut while I tighten this from the bottom. So maybe that'll be an option for you guys, I don't know. But even this picture from Prothane Motion Control says the bolt should be going from the bottom. And so here's the thing, I was under there and we can kind of see here, we take a look, you got a little bit of center sleeve sticking out on both sides, and which means the bushing isn't doing anything because you got the gap there for the subframe, but the diff carves into this thing, and you can see I rotated this to try to help that out just in the last week. I'm not even sure how long it had been rotated. Anyways, you can see that the differential is like carving into this instead of having all this surface area to take advantage of. So I think that kind of contributed to the low lifespan of this thing. This one is from Energy Suspension, if you remember my videos in the past. And it only came with one washer to stick on top, I believe, unless I lost one and didn't bother to look at the directions, which is entirely possible. This one, however, so I was thinking I'm going to use this one and put it on the diff, and then use the one that comes with the new one and put it on top like you're supposed to, and that way I've got metal on both ends helping that bushing last a little longer. So sure enough, I open up the Prothane box and it's got two in there, and the instructions say washer 64 on bottom, washer 64 on top, nut on top, and you know, rock it. Okay, so I found the reason why my old one failed in the beginning, and probably, you know, and I'm curious, but right from the beginning these washers are sitting on the center sleeve. They're not, even though they're like exactly the same size as the bushing is right now, this gap in the center is too large. The thickness of that subframe is a little more than just a little more than this lip, which means there's play in the center from the beginning, and that was probably how the other one was when it was installed. Even though it only had one washer, even if it had two, it wouldn't have made a difference. The only thing I can think of to fix this is to just trim this thing down, like at least 1/8 of an inch, so there's some squish on those bushings. And I want to make sure too that these are exactly the same, and they are. So I think I'm just going to sand on this guy until I knock off like 1/8 of an inch. Alright, I made it about 1/8 of an inch shorter. So that should give us some squish on that bushing. And I'm not going to put any lube on it because this isn't supposed to be a moving bushing. So hopefully we won't get any squeak. But let's go see if we can put this thing together. I'm going to try and put the bolt in from the bottom like you're supposed to and put the nut on top. But we'll see. And look at this. I just realized too while I was over there. This had been wearing for a while, the side of that subframe. So I did put a little bit of lube on the inside of that collar because the hole in the subframe is a hair smaller than the collar. I'm gonna put those back bolts in and see if that helps at all. So I think that helped out a lot. Try and sneak this guy back in there. Come on. Oh, he's so close. Aye. There we go. And the top piece. Okay, top piece not reaching yet. Let's see if we can. Okay, so I was able to get like one thread, maybe two on there. That should be enough. I'm hoping I can just start turning this thing and, you know, the nut will just kind of bite in and tighten up for me. We'll see here. All right, well, I'm gonna tighten these back bolts first, and then I'll jump around to the front and zip on that that Allen now that I got it going in the right way. Hopefully that'll let me tighten it up, not just spin the nut around. Then I'll jump back and I'll tighten all four of these cross member bolts. Then I gotta put in the axle. Then I'll put on the heat shield. And we can put on the exhaust. Fix the bumper. Well, that's done. I got it all done in one day. Got it should be sandwiched in there nice and tight now. So I just got the battery plugged back in because it was dead. Had it charging, so let's listen to this bad boy here. Well, there it is. Well, we got all the doors open because I'm letting it air out. It's like an oven in there. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you got any questions about that, about what I did. If you know anywhere where there are some solid mounts too that I can get a hold of, that would be ideal. I'd replace all three of those with solid mounts. That way I don't have to get back in there every year to fix those squished bushings. That's a pain in the butt. It sucks. I had to destroy the clips. Those clips for the side of the bumper, they're not reusable. You gotta clip them out, so now I gotta go buy new clips for that bumper. But I'm gonna take it for a test drive and see if it still clunks, and I'll let you guys know. Hang on just a minute. Okay, well, I didn't even have to get out of the driveway and it's still basically making the same sound, so let's see what we can see. First, let's take a look at the back. Foot on the brake. Put it in reverse. Drive. Reverse. Drive. Okay, well, it's not this. There's some noises up here. Reverse. Oh, whoa. Drive. Reverse. Drive. Reverse. Huh. This rear end and axles and everything, they just make a lot of noise. Drive. Reverse. Huh. Well, everything's tight. Okay, I'm gonna set it back down on the ground and I'm gonna go actually take it for a test drive and see what it sounds like. Back up a little bit.
The whole thing went up.
Yep, it is motor mount.
I told you, didn't I?
Wow, that motor moves, huh? Guess it does need a motor mount. We'll do motor mounts and a transmission mount at the same time. That other noise is just the rear diff. I don't know if it's falling apart inside of there or what, but all the diff mounts are tight now, and subframe mounts are all tight. Transmission mount is all tight. The bushing on the transmission mount itself is a little wore out, and so is the motor mounts, but we'll do that in another video. And if you guys do want to see detailed removal of that rear differential and how to replace those bushings, that's on my you can go to my page and check out the Magnum playlist and check out the video where I do the rear control arms, and it's in there. I got the whole subframe removed and everything. And while you're in there, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. All those comments and stuff really help out. So appreciate you guys watching, and have a good day. Oh, sorry guys. Oh, come on. Oh, I can't do it. It's like, it's right there, but I can't pick it back up. It's like trying to grab a slippery little ball. I can't. I don't know why. Oh, I think I got it. Woo woo.